I'm super happy to have you guys here, and this is one of the products that you all kept asking for me to show you closer pictures. So there you go. This cover is something that's been chosen by our own dear customers. After we did quite a lot of designs, we showed it to our beta testing team, and then they said, hey, you know what, of all the people who were there, I think each and every one of them did put a vote on this. So there you go, the boho themed covers of 2023. You will see it front and center on all the places. That being said, so what you will get is the 2023 in gold foiling, and everywhere that you will see the gold foiling, and obviously there is going to be a butterfly because the entire theme for this year will have butterflies, and you know what it is. So the color is the creamish peach color that we've maintained. The reason that we chose that color and even the beta testing team liked it is because with wear and tear, this color sits beautifully well. It will not get dirty, it will stay the way it is. From the beginning of the year till the year end, the book will remain intact. So once you open the book, this is how it looks like. This is your plain white sheet, and I've given you a space here for you to put down a letter for yourself. You can choose to cut this sheet and keep it in your back pocket, or you can leave it here for you to, refer it whenever you're comfortable. That being said, this is your elephant with butterfly wings is yours front and center, and you will be able to fill up all your personal details here. The reason that we've given you all of this space, even if it looks like why the hell do I have to fill up my address, is in case your book is lost, it's better to leave your address here, right? It's better to have it here than to regret later. Then this is the letter from the universe, and you know from the last year's edition that I do not pen a letter from myself. I always choose to keep a letter from the universe, and I'm not going to read this out here, and I'm not going to let you people read it out here. Maybe once you get your book in hand, then go ahead and take a look at it. This sheet is still the same from last year. However, we've changed the designs from it, and you see butterflies coming in here as well. This is basically a space for you to reflect and to look at who you are as a person. What are the labels that you carry about yourself? So, who are you? I am maybe a dancer, I'm a mother, I'm a professional, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a baker. All of these labels, yes, but other than that, who are you as a person? This is a space for you to reflect about yourself, put down everything that you think about yourself and keep them here. However, also please do remember this line. I'm all of these, yet I'm not bound by any of them. There might be good labels, there might be bad labels, there might be labels that you've kept because you like to keep them with you. But however, also remember that there is a possibility that these labels will diminish, or there is a possibility that these labels will grow. Keep that opportunity, keep that option open for yourself, okay? And then this is what I love about me. Yeah, please excuse me about the writing here. This writing is from our live that we did earlier with Meghna, and Meghna wanted to test if a sketch pen, when we use a sketch pen in the Tall Elephant journal, if it bleeds or not. So that's when we did this. I'll show you the back side of this in a minute. But this page for me is about, if I have to think about myself and say, who am I as a person? I did figure out and I did think about saying, yeah, I'm all of these labels. But usually what happens is, I think our biggest critics are not somebody else. It's usually us who are always self-sabotaging ourselves, who are always saying things very negatively to ourselves. So I wanted to give you a space for you to explore the depth and the dimensions and the universe which lies within yourself, and maybe use this space to talk about what do you love about yourself. If I were to use it and how I want to use it this year is, maybe I'm going to go circular, writing all the words that I think I like about myself and allow it to keep growing, and maybe not something that I want to finish off at one go. But I'm going to come back to the sheet very, very often. So yeah, I was talking to you about this bleed. Let's go back and check if there is anything there. There you go. So you don't see anything. Even if you look at this space, obviously you will not see anything. So if you look at it, this is 110 GSM soft touch paper. It is very nice to touch. It's feathery, it's nice to touch, and it feels very nice, right? And at 110 GSM, this will take care of no bleeds whatsoever. I know who am I as a person. I've explored that. What do I do next? Even before you get into 2023, I wanted to give you a space for you to reflect about what's happened this year. It's not about saying I'm going to jump off from here and then start off 2023, but there's a lot that's happened in 2022. And in fact, while I'm doing this video, we're still in 2022 and there's so much of learnings that we've had. So I thought maybe I'll give you a space to reflect about 2022, capture the essence of this year, look at what do you want to carry forward, and then go into 2023. So you'll see 4 questions here about 2022, and once you have this filled up, take your time when you're going to sit down with your journal. In fact, if you need help, I'm always going to be there. We're going to be doing this ritual regularly. All the details will be sent across to you the moment you've picked up the journal from us. So don't worry, I'm going to be there to help you out, but nevertheless, remember to take time with yourself even before you start using the journal. Okay, so this is all about 2022, and then this is your 2023 calendar. Tell me if you love it. I love it personally. When the designers put the entire design together, I was stunned. I was like, oh my god, this looks so pretty. Prettiness comes from all the floral background that you see here. We wanted to keep the floral theme because there's so much that's happening and there's so much that we're sharing. We wanted to give you space which looks beautiful enough that you might want to come back and grab your book and start looking at it, right? Okay. All the 12 months you will be able to see at one glance your important birthdays, anniversaries, dates that you want to really remember. I wanted to give you that space here where you can note it down. Like, you know that there's somebody's birthday, you know where to note it down, and then when you're going to start a month or when you open your journal, this is always available for you. And you also get to have the 2024 calendar, because you never know, you might need to look at the dates, you might need to look at the days, so it's available for you. This is your 2023, and this is where it all begins. And you'll see butterflies everywhere here too, and there you go. Now that you've reflected about what's happened in 2022, I want you to use this space to think about what is it that you want to achieve in 2023. Now, usually, what we usually see as vision boards is you see one complete empty sheet where you get to fill whatever you want to fill, but I wanted to give you certain cues that you can use maybe if required, where you think about what's the vision that you want to look at in terms of yourself, what's the vision that you're looking at in terms of your personal life growth, what is it that you're looking at your professional life growth. Irrespective of you're a student, you are an entrepreneur, you're a professional, you are a homemaker, whoever you are, we have things to cover in all of these areas, right? And you may ask, saying, why did you leave so much of space for self, Krupalini, and such small spaces for personal and professional things? In fact, the reason is, after doing a lot of in-depth research and looking at everything that we put up on our vision board, anything that we are looking for in terms of our personal life or our professional growth, all comes with the desire of the self and we wanting certain things in our life. That is what gets manifested into our personal and professional space. So I wanted to give you that space of saying, you know what, build your foundation strongly. Who do you want to become? And based on that, you go ahead and fill up your personal and professional space. You might say, Krupalini, no, I don't want to do it this way. I might want to keep it as a single vision board. In that case, all that you need to do is cover up the space. Once it's covered, then it becomes your entire one sheet of vision board. The entire 2023 collection is all about you. You can customize it the way you want. I'm just here to help you out and give you cues here and there if in case you need. Okay, so that's your vision board. Once you have your vision in place, let's give examples, right? Let's look at, I want to have a certain kind of home. I'm looking at my relationship getting better with an ex person. I'm looking at professionally growing and becoming better at certain things. My career-wise, this is what I want. This is how much I want to make in terms of my finances. All of that I've put in terms of my vision board now gets converted to goals, right? So you know what is level 10 goals. We've spoken about it earlier. It's already there in that a previous year's video. If in case you need help, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to do a separate video on level 10 goals. Now that I have my vision in place, I now look at all aspects of life. Now, when I say let's look at all aspects of life, one of the best methods and models or tools that we have in hand as humans is the level 10 goals. As per psychological studies, what they say is, if you can cover an aspect of each of these in your life, we start to feel contentment and bliss and happiness later. It's not about saying, oh, I'm going to be super excited. No, it's not about an excitement. It's not about a spike. It's about contentment and, holding on to that contentment and bliss and happiness. So you will see level 10 goals on all the 10 categories here. You write it as a SMART goal. If I were to do it, I will not pick more than 3 for each category, right? But look at your life in totality and pick goals for yourself on all of these. Once we have the level 10 goals covered, you now have your vision board in place, you have your level 10 goals in place. The next thing that we do is we've given you space for mind mapping. A lot of times when you're thinking about, okay, I want to do this, I want to achieve this in life, a lot of times it's a lot of information that we start receiving in our minds, right? It'll be like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. These are the 5 things that I have to try and do. And then it kind of gets cluttered. To declutter the clutter in the mind is this mind map space. You can use it as a continuation of your level 10 goals for you to talk about each of your goals, or it could just be a mind map place where you can mind map any time in your life for whatever is the reason that you want. And then this is your continuation of mind mapping or an idea space. In case you are an entrepreneur, or in case you are a creative person and you are somebody who keeps getting multiple ideas, you don't know from where, and a lot of times, and having one dedicated space for all your ideas, there's nothing better than that. For me personally, I really need this space. I needed this space because there's so much that's happening. I wanted one page where I could write a keyword about what is it that I have as an idea and then take it forward from there. That's your new idea space. And this is your bucket list. Now, why did I do this in terms of a bucket list and not leave it as an empty sheet? Giving you an empty sheet is easy. But what we've tried to give you is again cues about, yes, you want to trek. Yes, you might want to do certain things, but have you covered every aspect of life? So every aspect of life is what is this. During one of our journaling sessions that we're going to have, maybe I'm going to help you out with this, and then we will talk about it in detail during those sessions. If you ask me what's my most favorite and the one that I really liked a lot, that I wanted to retain from last year to this year, is the fears to overcome. I'm somebody who always likes to challenge myself, saying, this year, what's the fear that I'm going to overcome? And that's where this comes from. The next sheet is your travel vision. Similar to last year, we've given you two pages entirely for you to put it down in terms of what are you looking at. These could be images that you want to stick. This could be quotes that you want to write. This could be just a travel plan that you want to put together. Anything on an international trip, on a domestic trip, what are you thinking about? Use this space to manifest that dream. Okay? Once that's been done, this space, something new that we have here. So I'm going to take some time to explain what this is. So usually what happens is, a lot of times at the beginning of the year, we have this tendency of saying, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pick up the skill. This is something that I want to work on. And they come as sparks. Maybe we write it in the bucket list, but we don't take an action towards it. And this sheet, I really hope it enables you to look at those skills and say, oh, I'm going to be able to build this. So what you can look at here is, you will see skill that you want to learn and why do you want to learn. There's a question for that. When will you learn it? Where do you want to learn? And what's the first step that you can take towards that particular skill? I hope this really helps you and enables you to pick up new skills, and 2023 becomes the year for you to fly. So this is your skills to build sheet, and here is all about your medicine history or your medicine corner. I think one thing that we've all learned during COVID is how important is it for us to track our vaccines, and how important is it for us to really know what medications are we popping into our body, right? So this is a space for you to make notes of all the medications that you might take in 2023. What's the name of the medicine? Who prescribed it to you? What was the reason that you took that particular medicine? What's the course? What's the dosage? And if you want to note any side effects or you want to note anything related to that particular medicine, there's a space here. I've a lot of times had this problem where I go to the doctor and then they ask me, okay, what was the previous antibiotic that you took? And I cannot remember the name. I am guilty as charged. So I thought might as well just give you that space where you can write it down and you know what all has gone into your body, right? So that's your medicine history. This is your vaccine history. You know why vaccine history, I don't have to explain that again. So what was the vaccine that you took? What was the reason that you took that particular vaccine? What's the dosage? When was it taken? If there is a booster date for it? And if there was any side effects that you got because of taking that particular vaccine. So this covers your medicine history. And then we go into the memory lane. Now, what's in the memory lane is, okay, by the way, I think I have to explain this very clearly to all of you, right? So, all of this is maybe something that I fill up at the beginning of the year because these are all visions that I have. Maybe at the beginning and throughout the year is a skills to build sheet. This is something that I continue through the year. So the yearly sheets are not about write it in the beginning and forget about it. That's why we've given you 2 of these bookmarks. Use a bookmark in between the year beginning, right? In your yearly sheets where you know you come back and update regularly. So you know you have to go back to those sheets. This is your memory lane. So this could be a picture, it could be a doodle, it could be a note, it could be a quote, it could be anything that you know sung synonymously with what that month meant to you in that year. So what did Jan 2023 look like for you? It could be your picture, it could be anything that defines for you. And maybe when you look at it at the year end, you have your complete memory lane that you might have for yourself that you've created. And you might wonder saying, oh, is this what happened? And is this a transformation that I've had? And then this is my most favorite. I think I've been saying that quite often, but all the sheets are my favorite. But this sheet, we've made it a little more colorful this year. Last year, we did have quite a lot of avid readers say, going gung-ho about it and saying, we really love this sheet, retain it and give us more books. So there you go. This is for you to track all the books that you've read, write about the book that you're going to read or you've read already, and how much is your star score that you want to give for yourself for that particular book. So this allows you to track all the books that you've read and what's happened. Or if you're not somebody who reads quite often, then maybe it helps you build that habit. So this is your bookshelf, and then this is your sheet of passwords. We missed this last year. So I remember my customers coming back and saying, Krupalini, I think there's one thing that you guys really missed out in the last year's spreads for yearly spreads was you did not give us space to track and keep track of our passwords because that's something that we forget, and a journal is a space I'm supposed to be remembering everything, right? Made total sense, yeah? So this is a space for you to write your entire passwords, and I was talking to Arun and saying, do you think people will really put the passwords down? And he happened to give me a very good trick, and I'm going to share that trick with all of you, okay? What he said is, maybe you can tell your customers saying if you are somebody who's going to be writing down the passwords and you think that you don't want to put it down because people might be able to hack it by just looking at it, then use a different alphabet in place of a certain thing. Like let's say I'm somebody who keeps Tony as my password. I'm just giving you an example. So instead of saying Tony, I might say, or maybe my password is T0NY, I always write TONY. So if somebody is trying to decode it, then they know that that's not what it means. Or maybe I use exclamation ONY everywhere, but an exclamation when it is written here, I always write it as TONY, and nobody will be able to decrypt it unless there are people who are really good at it. Yeah, so that's your passwords. This is your space to track all your movies that you're going to watch in 2023. You go to a theater and watch, come back and talk about it here. Put down a memory of it here. And this is all about the OTTs and the TV shows that you're going to watch. This space should suffice. If it does not suffice, here's a small trick that I learned from Meghana. You can maybe split this into 2. and use it as two different screens to write, because she said, I might need more space, and totally makes sense. If you want to do that, or we have empty spreads anyways at the end of the year. You can go ahead and use that space for you to write more details about more of those TV shows that you watch. Okay, so this is your TV and OTT tracker, and this sheet is about all the amazing people who've touched your life or who will touch your life in 2023. Usually what happens for us as humans is we have this tendency of looking at only our close circle people and thinking these are the only ones who are making a difference to our lives, and we tend to forget about the rest of the people who are really adding value to our lives. So I wanted to give you a cue of saying, can you think of the other people too, and think who are those people who are adding value to your life. It could be your close circle too, but if you want to, can you also increase that circle for yourself? It could be a picture of theirs that you want to put. It could be a note about them that you want to put it down. Whatever you're comfortable, use the space and use it to just fill in abundance of love for the rest of the world. With that, the next sheet is your top influencers. If you look at it, we are the sum total of all of our experiences and everything that we learn. And today, with so much happening on social media and gamut of things on the internet, I think we do get influenced by a lot of people. So I wanted to give you that space to look at who are the people who are influencing you in 2023. Who are those people who are adding value to you in 2023? This could be social media influencers, this could be YouTubers, this could also be a stranger that you saw pass by and you learned something from this person, right? So amazing people and your influencers, you know how to use it. Amazing people might be, if I'm using it, these are people who are adding value to my life directly because I'm in constant touch with them. My influencers are, I'm getting influenced by them and my life is changing because of them, right? But I'm going to tell you why did I even put this sheet down. Human brains are very good in remembering negative things, bad things that's happened in life, and fearful things. And you might say, why the hell do I do this to myself? It's not you. That's how human brains are designed. But look at happy moments. Look at things that's really changed your life. We can't remember it with complete details the way that we remember a painful event. And it's really important for us to, go back and train our brain muscles, to train ourselves about the core memories, about what is it that we want to remember. Hence, I wanted to give you the sheet of the proud moments or happy moments so that you can capture the entire essence of it in all forms possible onto this particular sheet. Yes, I've given you one sheet, but you also have this empty space here. Go ahead and use it to your own way, however you want to use it. But make sure that you describe your happy moments, your proud moments in the best way possible. Put it down as vividly as possible. Every sensory organ, think about it. How did that place smell like? How did I feel being there? How did the texture of the air feel like, right? Think about everything and then detail it out. And anytime you're feeling low, come back to this sheet. And I'm sure it'll do its magic. So yeah, that's your proud moments, and you have 2 spreads of empty sheets. Use it however you're comfortable. Whichever sheets you think, spreads you think that you've missed out, go ahead and use it. There are dot grids on this, so you can use it the way you like. Okay, and then the annual trackers. This particular one is also another favorite of mine. And I remember somebody asking me in one of the journal challenges that we had, saying, Krupalini, how do you use the sheet? What do you track on a monthly basis? Anything to do professionally, I usually don't track it on a monthly basis in my journal, frankly. I use a planner separately, and we will talk about it on the planner video. On this sheet, what do I track is multiple things. I'm somebody who loves, and you might see on my bucket list saying, I might want to see X number of sunrises or sunsets in a year. I'm somebody who craves for sunrises and sunsets. So I also write down here saying sunrises, how many did I see in January to December? How many sunsets did I see from Jan to December? You can also go, you don't have to do what I do, but you can also go ahead and track your social media followers. If you're an influencer, you could track your bills. You can saying, how much have you paid? There's enough space for you to write that as well on the sheet, right? So you can track your bills. You can track anything that you're doing on a monthly basis here. So this is for your monthly view. There's enough space, use it for your usage, however you're comfortable. You don't have to use everything. But remember that the Tall Elephant Journal has space for everything on your mind. Okay, so use it however you're comfortable. This is your annual tracking by months, and this is your annual tracker by days. And you might wonder saying, Krupalini, what did you do? Why did you give me this sheet now? This one is about, if you look at it here, this is the amount of money that I spent in January paying my rent. I don't pay my rent every single day. However, I might be taking tablets every single day, and I really have to track it every single day. It's not about saying, I'm going to track it only once in the month, and I don't know how did it fluctuate. You can use the spread for that. You can also use the spread to track your periods. If you are somebody who would want to track your periods, saying I want to know everything that's happened from January to December in one place, one shot, use it for that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you can go ahead and use these spaces. You can use these 4 trackers for 4 things that you know you're tracking every single day of 2023. You're going to track only 2, use 2. You're going to track only 1, use 1. It's your choice, but I've given you space, right? And with that, we come to the end of the yearly sheets. And I'm super excited to show you the monthly sheets, and we'll talk about it in a moment. If you have any questions about the yearly trackers or the yearly spreads that's there, again, put it in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to pitch in and to come in and share my insights on it. And also, please do tell me, how much are you liking this journal and how are you going to be using it? I'm going to be super excited to read all of your comments there in that particular space. And every single month, this is how it begins. You will get this wonderful spread of monthly cover. I remember there's another question of somebody saying, Krupalini, is this all journal meant only for women? Absolutely not. I've tried my best to make people understand, saying no. However, you will see the strong feminine energy everywhere. If you don't like having the feminine energy, then maybe the monthly covers do not do justice to you. But however, I'm sure whoever you are, there are those powerful women that you can see in your life on these images. It could, if you are a woman or if you are somebody who identifies to that feminine energy, then I'm really hoping that you connect to these images, the power of these images that's there within you. So yeah, this is how the monthly covers will look like, and I've given you space for you to make your own monthly inspiration. So this space, you can use it to doodle, to draw, to write down a quote for yourself, or to just put down pictures. Anything that you think will fuel your month, go ahead and use the space for that. But make sure that you don't copy it from anywhere, and it does not do justice to it, right? This is your space. Don't worry about how it looks, but go ahead and create it for yourself. And then we get into the monthly dates. Let me show you what happens next. So this is your January planner. If you've read that book called Eat That Frog, it talks about saying what's that one thing that you're going to nail on that particular day. Space can be used for that. If you're somebody who likes to put down 4-5 things that you work on a particular day, you can use it for that, because you anyways have a planner separately. But if you still are someone who wants to track it down here, use the space for that. Or use the space to put down your highlights of what's happening on a particular day in this space. It's basically however you are comfortable to use, go ahead and use it in that particular way. And there is an extra space here in case you don't know when those activities are going to happen. Write it down here and make sure that you schedule it here. Make sense? Yeah, so it's your choice. The next sheet is all the goals that we set up at the beginning of the year. I wanted to reiterate and bring it back to you every single month. So it's not about saying I set up New Year resolutions and I've completely forgotten about it. I didn't want that to happen, right? So maybe my health and fitness goal is maybe I want to lose a certain amount of weight. That happens over a certain period of time, right? So maybe if I'm looking at I want to lose 8 kgs of weight by the end of the year, what are you going to be doing about it in the month of January? You get that? So maybe this month my focus might be to look at those 2 kgs, or might be about just getting into the discipline of getting into exercising. Whatever is your goal, write that down and start tracking your progress. So that's what you do from your vision board to here. In case you still have problems, you don't know how to do it, don't worry about it. When I'm going to be doing a video about level 10 goals, I will cover this, and obviously it's going to be a part of the journaling videos that I'm going to be sharing with all of you. So it's all going to be available with you. But use this space, use it to go back to what was your vision for the year, so that it's not like I just did it at the beginning of the year and I forgot it. And then this is your space for you to journal every single day, right? So what you do in this particular space is, before I tell you what you do, everything in your journal starts from Sunday, goes up to Saturday. So every particular week is from Sunday to Saturday in your journal, and in your planner it's from Monday to Sunday, right? Why Monday to Sunday? Because you're tracking mostly your professional things, and here because a week is from Sunday to Saturday, so let's just keep it as Sunday to Saturday. And this is your space to come back every single day and talk to yourself and say, how did your day go? It's not about planning your day. No, it's not that. It's not about saying, these are the tasks that I want to do. I will still not do that here. I use the planner for that. This is space for you to go back into an internal conversation with yourself and say, how was your day? What really happened during the day? How are you feeling? It's about doing a check-in with yourself. So you do that here every single day. And here at the end of the week, you reflect and think about, what do you want to change? What's working and what's not? You choose how do you want to look at your reset button of a weekend, and then you accordingly work on that. So you'll see this happening every single week, and you'll see butterflies everywhere. And then you will find this space of brain dump. Brain dump is a beautiful activity, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. You feel the space is not enough for me, Krupalini, I've had a very bad day. Continue using the space. Go ahead and write and pour out everything that's running in your mind. And trust me, I promise you will feel better once you've given words to those thoughts, right? So go ahead and continue writing here. And then this is my most favorite sheets. This particular sheet, I think, works magically well, and I'm so grateful for every other psychologist who's helped us in designing the sheet. And I'm glad that we could put this challenge in front of our customers. This sheet is like, you remember those jars in which we would catch those fireflies as kids? It's that. It's the happiness of that. So this is your happiness jar in which you get to talk about every particular day and look at saying, what am I happy about today? Irrespective of how the day has been, there will be a reason that you will be able to find something in the day which gave you happiness. And I wanted to give you space to reflect on that. I hope your jar gets filled and it overflows as well completely into the sheet, because it's all about your happiness. And why not? Go ahead and overspill it. You can use all the stickers in the sticker book. I will link up that video here where I've spoken about the stickers in the sticker book, and I've spoken about how to use it in the happiness jar here. Go ahead and take a look at it, and you will get a lot of cues of how to use this. So put a sticker of whatever's the theme that you've chosen for that month and write about it. And by the end of the month, trust me, it'll look like the most beautiful spread that you really don't want to let go of, right? It's going to fill up your jar and it's going to be beautiful, beautiful and beautiful. So that's your happiness jar. And this is your emotions tracker. You might ask me saying, Krupalini, why did you split it on these particular characteristics? Why these names? In emotional skills, when you look at it, we usually divide emotions on beneficial and non-beneficial or afflictive emotions. So I've given you space in those formats, right? You will see beneficial emotions and afflictive or non-beneficial emotions in the bottom. So when you look at each of these emotions, the reason you see so many emotions on a single day is we as humans actually go through all of these emotions mostly. It goes like a sinusoidal wave, up and down and up and down. It's very rare that we have constant bliss, right? So what you see here is every single day I wanted to give you an opportunity to come back and look at saying, how are you feeling at the moment? what emotions did you actually run through today? Because usually what happens is we term our days as, oh, it was a bad day, it was a sad day, or it was a super exciting day. But when you look at the entire day in totality, right, we might have gone through multiple emotions. So I wanted to give you that space, so go ahead and put down all your emotions for every single day here, and you will know by the end of the month what emotions are you feeling and where do you need help. And this is a new challenge for you this year. I've given you space to look at what is new today. With the world transforming so much of technological advancements, so many things happening, I think there is that line is becoming thinner and thinner between humans and machines. I wanted to make maybe that line a little more wider so that we don't feel like machines anymore. We don't feel like there's no difference between what happened from yesterday to today. So this is a question to prompt on those particular things. What is new today? Now think about it and think about what is the newness that you found in life today. And imagine asking yourself this question every single day. And then this sheet is your gratitude journal. I remember when I was asking my customers saying what kind of books would you need as a part of the 2023 journal, a lot of people said, give us a gratitude journal as a separate book. But you know what? We don't need it as a separate book. You're anyways journaling every single day. Might as well keep it in the same book. Why have a separate book just for the sake of having it, right? So this is your gratitude journal. Come here, talk about in this day or on this particular day, what am I grateful for? Yes, I know what am I happy about. I know how am I feeling emotionally, but what am I grateful for? And trust me, when you start using the spread well, the hormones in your head, the churn that happens is no match to another. And if you're somebody who feels very low often, start working on this and you'll see the magic happen there as well. And then this is your habit tracker. What happens on the habit tracker is you track your habits on every single day. I've given you enough space for you to track your habits. Use as many as you want. Don't use everything if you don't want, or use everything abundantly. There's enough space for every single thing. But remember, another thing, habits are not just the ones that you want to build. There might be habits that you want to kill as well. It could be a bad habit that you know, it could be procrastination, it could be the way that we communicate. It could be saying, I think I want to be more kinder, more wiser. It could be something that you're building, or it could be saying, I do not want to react in a certain way, right? It's your choice. So whatever is the habit that you want to track it here. This is your physical fitness tracker, or you can choose to saying, I'm not going to be tracking it as physical fitness. I'm going to use this as for just my regular activities. My habit tracker was not enough. I want to continue using it. Go ahead and use it here. Another trick in the game. You can use it as a binary, saying, okay, I'm tracking a certain habit. I did it. I did not do it. I did not do it. I did not do it. It's a cross or a tick. It could also be in terms of percentages. Like, let's say I'm tracking, I want to drink 4 liters of water per day. I do 50%, then I mark 50% of the grid. I do 25%, I mark 25% of the grid. It could also be something that I'm doing in measuring in terms of actual numbers. I want to measure how many steps did I take. It's not about just 7,000 steps that I want to do a day, but it's about every particular step that I took, I want to track it. Then you write that number inside this. So you can use this habit tracker as a binary, like how you would do here. It could be as a percentage, or it could be as an actual achievement number that you want to track. It's basically just your choice. Use it the way you are comfortable. And then this is your meal tracker. So last year, if you used our 2022 journal, we did give you stickers for this, but a lot of our customers said, the stickers did not work for us, we removed it. So this year, again, you have a little more space than last year, but you are tracking your breakfast, lunch, snacks and dinner. And I've given you space here for you to color code and put a pattern. What do I mean by it is I want you to track what kind of meals are you having. Give yourself points for it, or give yourself whatever that you're tracking, give yourself notes for what you want to track. So this is your legend, right? You can put colors, you can put patterns, whatever works for you. You're not somebody who uses multiple colors of pens. Don't worry about it. In that case, just use one color pen. This might be healthy meal, might be dots, cheated meal might be square, takeaway might be full coloring, fine dining might be horizontal lines, special meals might be vertical lines. You know what I mean, right? So you can go ahead and write that and then track your entire set of meals that you might have had during the month. If you want to track a special recipe that you liked, write it down here. Or it could just be a meal memory of a nice date that you had, something you want to cherish and remember about that food, write it down here. And that's your meal tracker. After you've finished your entire meal tracker, then comes your finance tracker. Last year, we gave you space for finances where you said we need a little more space. So whatever is your wish, we make sure that we fulfill it. So I've given you a lot more space for you to track more than 30 lines here to track about every financial income or an expense. You can do it for your savings, you can do it however you're comfortable, but there's enough and more abundant space for you to track your finances and for you to achieve your goals in terms of your finances. And this is the space for you to fill up your financial manifestation, and then you have these empty sheets in case the brain dump sheet was not enough. You want to use more, use this. In case you feel I missed out some space where I did not give you space to track something, use this. Whatever you want it to be, convert these sheets to be whatever it is that you like. And you end the month with a recap where you look at how did the month go, even before you look at what's going to come in the next particular month of 2023. I'm not going to spend time on this. Go ahead, take a look at it yourself, and you'll abundantly be happy and grateful that you can actually have so many things in life happening for you in that particular month, right? So that's your entire monthly sheets. I'll quickly do a quick review again and tell you how you will actually be using it, right? So you would have filled this sheet up in the beginning of the month. This is what you may be doing on every single day's basis. In that case, keep a bookmark here. Keep your second bookmark here, saying every single day I'm going to come here and I'm going to start with this. So this is your beginning of the sheet. So you have a look at it here, and then you look at what part of your goals are you achieving, you're not achieving on every single day basis. You want to look at it here. Then start journaling, right? Talking about how did your day go. After you finished writing about how your day went, then you get on to your trackers where you fill up your happiness jar. You then talk about what kind of emotions you go through that particular day, what was new on that day, what can you be grateful for on that particular day, and then all the habits that you're tracking. After you finish that, come here, fill up only that particular day's what was your breakfast, what was your lunch, what was your snack, and what was your dinner. And then if you've had any financial expenses, fill that up. Ideally, this should not take you more than 15 minutes. It might look like there's a lot of spreads, but trust me, this is what's going to help you to go back into the universe which lies within yourself, and it'll help you grow yourself inside out. So that is your monthly pages that we have. I'm not going to show you every month. Then what's the fun of unboxing? So you have the fun of doing it. Oh yes, and before I forget, I want you to know this. This year, we've made a special edition for every end of quarter. So at the end of every quarter, you will be able to see something special. So this would be your March recap sheet, and here is your quarterly review. I've given you the space to look at, saying there's an opportunity to restart every time, and something made sense at the beginning of the year, but it does not make sense anymore, and you want to relook at your goals, you want to relook at your vision, you want to restart certain things. Your journal gives you space for that as well. So for all the goals that you had, it gives you space to look at what's working, what's not, if you want to redo something, if you want to restart something, or if you want to do everything differently on that particular goal. This space will help you out with that. This is for you to reflect on your entire first quarter and to make newer resolutions, if any. This could also be that space of pictures. This could also be that space of you reflecting visually, you reflecting with quotes. notes. This could be also that space for you to look at saying, this is working and this is not, and I'm super proud of myself for all of these reasons. I'm also working on myself in all of these reasons. You know what I'm saying? So that's your space for every single quarter. I'm not going to be showing you every monthly pages because I want you to have the fun of opening a box and seeing it by yourself. However, I'll show you something special at the year end. You know there is a back pocket for sure, but other than the back pocket, what you really need to know is this. You will end 2023 with a beautiful note and everything that you want to remember and say to 2023, and you will also get your super special and one of the most loved feature of our journal last year, your perforated sheets of, it could be a shopping list, it could be anything that you want to carry around. You know that's coming to your mind while you're journaling and you want to buy that tomorrow, or you want to keep that as a memory, you want to remember this tomorrow. This is that space for you. Write it down, tear it off. These are perforated sheets. Open it up and keep it in your phone or in your purse or in your pouch, and it goes along with you. So you don't have to carry your journal everywhere. That's what I meant to say, right? So you don't have to carry this journal everywhere. You have the space to pull out whenever you want to pull out, and there are wonderful illustrations at the back. So even if you're keeping it in your phone, and then you have that transparent covers, this will still do justice to it. But there's one special sheet. I want to show you that. This sheet is my most favorite. I wanted the illustrators to put this in so that you get that space to color. So if in case you want to color it out, so you have space for coloring as well, and a lot of notes section. And with that, we come to the end of the 2023 journal, and that's your 2023 journal in all totality. However, you might now be thinking, saying, Krupalini, you put this 2023 journal together. Yes, there's everything in it, but how the heck do you want me to carry this around? And that's where your travel journal comes in handy. Now that you understood everything that I spoke about here, let me show you what's in the travel journal. I'm somebody who travels quite a lot on a lot of business trips for Tall Elephant, or it could be for my social projects for United Nations that I do. And these are not long-standing trips, like I'm gone for a longer duration. I also travel for a day or two, and those times I really would wonder, saying, how can I carry a big planner or a journal with me? But I would miss the opportunity if I don't carry it, and if I carry it, it's an extra added baggage. So there you go, it's taken care of. This is your travel journal. Everything that you saw here, you can track it here. Whatever you are doing on a daily basis, it's all in this. Let me show you quickly what's inside. So this is your space for you to write your personal information, your 2023 calendars around, and whatever's your travel bucket list, you can go ahead and put it in here. And this is your space for you to look at tracking whatever you were tracking in your main journal. Write about whatever you were tracking in your main journal. How did your day go? What was your emotions that you felt? What activities were you tracking? What are the meals that you have had on that particular day, and what are the expenses that you had that day? Your gratitude section that you had, I've given you space for that as well. You might now saying, okay, Krupalini, yeah, makes sense. You made me write it in a smaller book, but you want me to come back and rewrite it? Absolutely no. So you see this line here, it's a perforated sheet. Tear this off, put it, come back home, stick it into your journal, and whatever you've ticked here, it does not take very long for you to go back and tick it in your main journal. You know what I mean? There's enough and more space for you to fill up for every single day that you're away from your journal. Don't carry this around, carry this one around with you. And at the end, you still have your favorite from the last year's journal, what you like. You still have your packing list, your to-do list, and your shopping list. Let's say you are on a vacation, let's say you're on a business trip, whatever the trip may be, you will still have things to track in terms of your packing, in terms of your shopping, in terms of your to-do things that you have to do. So this will help you track all of that. I hope it makes sense. These are also perforated sheets. These are also things that you can tear it off and you can keep it with you. I haven't done any designs at the back. In case you want to continue using that space, go ahead and continue to use that space. But these are perforated sheets, absolutely easy for you to pull out and use it at the go. So this is your travel journal, and this also comes with a back pocket. All that you need to do is put this into your handbag or put it into any bag that you're carrying, and it can comfortably travel with you everywhere. It is hardbound, so it's more easier, and the wear and tear is going to be very, very less. And I was really hoping that it's going to be more beach trips, and hence you see this image of, an illustration which makes you feel like you're sitting on the beach of Bali or Vietnam or Thailand or Europe, and you're enjoying writing in this particular journal. If you do so, please do click a picture and share it with us on social media so that we know that even if we weren't there with you, our journal traveled with you and it went to a space that we haven't been to. With that, it's a wrap, and that was your 2023 journal. If you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help you out, like I mentioned earlier. And do show your love. Will mean a lot to know what do you people think about the journal and what do you have to say about it. And I will look forward to sharing more details about other products in the 2023 journal in the upcoming videos. And I have a couple of video recommendations for you here on the screen. Come over and we'll continue our chat there. See you soon on the other one.